calling you a radical. Let's get back to the three-ring fucking circus called the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. Never in the history of mankind has there been anything so, the theater of the insane. It's pure insanity. Never, the tulip bubble. Well, there were tulips. The dot-com bubble. There were dot-coms. The SMR, small modular nuclear reactor bubble. There's no such thing. They don't exist. Yet, everybody's got, I got a great idea, kiddies. Let's play pretend, eh? Jimmy, Johnny, Bobby, even you, little Cindy Sue. Let's play pretend today. All over. Let's fuck it. Your own taxpayer money. So the government right now, the United States government, these bootlicking morons called the United States Senators, passed the Advanced Nuclear Act while Fukushima is ongoing. Fukushima's not over. It's worse today than it was yesterday. It's worse yesterday than it was the day before. So they're going to see the largest catastrophe in human fucking history. There's no byproduct from nuclear meltdowns. We're afraid of nuclear meltdowns. We're afraid of nuclear meltdowns. We're afraid of nuclear meltdowns. Till they happen, see no nuclear. Let's play pretend, you 70-year-old, 50-year-old, 40-year-old, 30-year-old, 60-year-old little children. Tiny kid, let's play Cindy Sue, Bobby Lou. Fucking let's play pretend today. Yay, I'm Sam Altman, the next fucking Elizabeth Holmes, the next Bankman Fried at Stanford. Fuck, that place should be boarded up. And everybody plays along. So, NuScale's CFO sold $665,000 worth of stock yesterday. Now, let's stay with this. Is NuScale orchestrating this criminal? Yeah, from the beginning. NuScale was a criminal enterprise from day one, which Kevin Blanchett proved this from day one. You know, when they started up their dog and pony show 2010, 2011, here's the rule. Sam Altman's fake fucking, go ask the NRC. He doesn't have anything. None of them have anything. So let's go back to NuScale's fraud. NuScale from the beginning, Jose Reyes, who worked at Idaho National Lab for you, the taxpayer, where they're supposedly testing these small modular, which I've been there dozens and dozens of times, proving they're not testing nothing. That's where he worked. He starts it up in Corvallis, Oregon State, which is the most criminal university enterprise in the country. Fucking promote nuclear, and they lie. Kathleen goes on television all over and says, well, uranium's natural from the earth. Uranium's not natural. The uranium we use in a nuclear reactor is not natural from the earth. We don't use natural uranium from the earth. We take the natural uranium from the earth, and then we centrifuge it. The nastiest, we use uranium 235, not 230. Next time somebody tells you about nuclear energy is so clean, ask them about the centrifuge process. You might as well be talking Martian. So they start up NuScale. Under the rules, now they've since changed, under Obama Dummer, who covered up Fukushima, green as grass. Got to tell you, he was asked by one of our group on the Stump 2008. Now, I didn't see this and I didn't know this. Gail asked him. Every president says they're going to clean up Hanford. Can you tell me, what are you going to do about Hanford? Well, I got to tell you, don't know what Hanford is. Now, remember, this is a guy propped up by the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. David Axelrod, Rahm Emanuel propped him up. Breaking Exelon came right out of the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. The perfect storm for the cover-up of the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. Back to NuScale. So, I'm the guy that dug it out. You had to have private funding before that you can file to the government for matching funds for this new nuclearism. Look it up. Kenwood Financial was their private funding. Kenwood Financial. Kenwood Financial, it didn't take long for me to figure out, was a totally Ponzi scheme. It was a fraudulent fucking thing that the South American gangster who ran the whole thing, who put it together, got found guilty for by the SEC when they used to charge people. They don't charge anybody for anything anymore. They're in on it. It was, and he went to prison for it. Total fraudulent. Should have been the end of the deal right there. Obama still gives them the matching fucking funds. Okay. So they're going shopping all over. They come here to Utah. They got one resistance here, Kevin Blanche. And they're going to every municipality in Utah. They're going to every one of them. They're going to Logan, to Brigham City, to Murray, Utah, to Morgan. Think about, you ever been to Morgan, Utah? Yeah, they're going to put a small modular reactor in Morgan. To Kaysville. To all the, I know part of these mayors, personally. You know, some of them are the most dirty, corrupt fuckers you ever, I mean, you don't know corruption. Come to Utah, I'll show you. I live in the most corrupt place on the planet, Weaver County, Utah. And so, Barnum. So they go to all these municipalities and they say, hey, here, this is New Scale shopping. We will, this is government pork they're offering. We will give you, they're telling mayors. Now, I mall walk in the morning with one of the mayors, and he's like, yeah, they came to me, took me down to Slackwater, sold me this dog. I wasn't biting. I said, they offer you the $200,000? Yeah. They would tell each one of these individuals, you form a little consortium to promote this nuclear, you know, you don't just pretend, just file the paperwork. We'll give you a check for $200,000. So they did it all over Utah. Now, in Utah, it's legal to gift, which is a backdoor bribe. So they go to the Utah State Legislature. Nobody's biting. Nobody in the world's like, fuck you. We've been trying these SMR since the 1950s. They fucking blow up. They don't work. They're a fairy tale. Not in Utah. So they go to the Utah State Legislature, and we have a bill called AMPS that I helped work on, right out of your bill. Here, let me grab my power bill. Is it right there? I don't know, wherever it's at. So out of your bill, it got through in the 2000s for solar. Solar, alternative energy, solar. It was all solar. It was to piggyback the California bill, which has been the greatest success in energy history as far as the United States usuries, the California Solar Initiative. They're producing more solar in California, 200 to 300% than they could use. Yet they still want to keep the album. So anyway, out of your bill, a little bit of money comes out, and it goes into a fund for solar. Now, we got the same bill through as California has, but right at the end, bootlicker politicians bow to Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett owns Rocky Mountain Power. He's a dirtbag. The same guy that stole the Weaver State School business, #1 in the country when I was a guy there. Now they're under investigation for selling state secrets to China. So, out of your bill, it's called AMPS. Money comes out for solar. They saw this. They saw this giant fund. Jose Reyes and crew. So they go to the Senate, and they have to get the law changed to where it says that nuclear energy is alternative. They have to add that language into the bill because we specifically wrote it out. No way. We're downwinders in Utah. We're not fucking going there. Now we have bootlicker Cox, who's that's the biggest fucking moron, who comes out and says, I can't take you environmental serious. We got to have when there is no nuclear. I can't take that fucking moron serious. That guy's dumb as fucking Paul. But I can prove how stupid he is. I have lots of examples of it. Face to face, toe to toe. He's dumber than a dirt clod. He's the dumbest, worst governor we've ever had. I was at the Bear River Massacre, which I go every year. Utah shows up when he's running for governor. He's the lieutenant governor, him and Reyes. Now, I asked Sean Reyes right to his face, because everybody was saying him and Jose Reyes were related, the attorney general. It's online. No, I'm not related to that guy. I have no relation. Then I asked him about the SMRs. He didn't know what they were. Now, remember, this is Idaho, right by where they're supposed to be testing them. Bootlicker Cox gets on the stump and says, the reason we're here for the first time here at the Bever battle, the real battle, 512 women and children murdered while they slept. The United States governor did that. He's standing on the podium. This was Utah territory when this happened. So I have it on video. I wait till he's done. He walks off, and I'm like, Spencer, why are you airing your ignorance in public? And he says, what do you mean? I says, this was never Utah territory. This was Washington territory. Franklin, Idaho was Washington. That's not what we were told, he told me. I says, told? I thought you were running for freaking governor. I thought you were going to be a leader. Leaders don't be told, they lead. I asked him at Weaver State University about these SMRs just a few months right before he became governor. with 36% of the vote. You know, everybody thought Huntsman would win. He pulled the upset in the GOP primary, which are the elections in these red-blue pill states. I don't know what those are. Now remember, just months after he became governor, he immediately signs a deal for who? No. Bill Gates, the most hated man in Utah history. Now, why is Bill Gates the most hated man in Utah history? Now, what time is it? The operating system was invented here. Word perfect. Alan Ashton, Bruce Bastian. The operating system was invented in Provo, Utah. They had 99% of the market. You know, I had to learn all that stuff. Shift F13. 95, Bill Gates comes in and says, Bill Gates never invented anything. Bill Gates never was not a computer guy. Bill Gates was not. Bill Gates is old world fucking money propped up. He's old imperialist money. They change their names over and over and over. He never invented anything. Everybody says, oh, he's a computer guy. He's this. He's not. No, he's not. So he comes in and all of a sudden he's got this Windows 95. He's going back to Steve Jobs' old mouse. Remember Jobs? I met Steve Jobs at Weber State back in the day. And Jobs' mouse, he's going to bring it back. Everybody's laughing. So he goes to, oh God, here we go. This goes on and on and on. And I mean, it's, so he goes to him and says, there was a fight among Bruce Bastian and Alan Ashton going on. You know, Bruce Bastian, who had several kids, who was of the prominent faith there, came out of the closet. And that was a big fight. Alan Ashton's David O. McKay's grandson, blah, blah, blah. There was a split. They would have never got away with it if they stayed unified. And there was a big fight going inside, which had 99% of the market. Everybody used WordPerfect, remember? Nobody's going to go to this mouse. Gates goes to him and says, I'll work a deal with you. My software will be compatible with WordPerfect and vice versa. You know, here's X amount of money. Let's do this, blah, blah. Biggest mistake Utah ever made. WordPerfect. Okay. Now then, of course, Novell buys WordPerfect, they merger, and then who becomes the CEO of Novell? Eric Schmidt. Yeah, that. How did he come? Sun Micro, out of nowhere. And remember they had the $1 billion in cash, which used to be a lot of money in the 90s, and he looted and stole it all. Mission accomplished. So they merge. Our software will work with your software. Windows 95 spends billions of dollars advertising. Billions. So everybody, you go to click on to the software thing, and not only did he not lie to him, you say, eat shit, go to hell, fuck you. Remember that? Remember that? We had a trial against Bill Gates here in Utah on 11/11/11. Look it up. How come you weren't there protesting? I was in the bone marrow transplant going in and out of a coma. Full of AML leukemia. One hung juror. Sued for $1 billion. So, Bill Gates, why would Spencer Cox sign a deal to build a jackalope factory in Kemmer, Wyoming? Now, stay with me. Utah Power and Light owns that gas plant in Kemmer, Wyoming. Who owns Utah Power and Light? Bill Gates' best bridge playing buddy. Scumbag Warren Buffett, the same guy that stole the school business from fucking. There used to be a picture on the wall. There was 2 pictures on the wall. There was a picture of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett they made me play golf with them. I was being prepped to take over the school when, for Clyde Cooley when he retired. I was being prepped to take. Remember, we're the #1 school in the United States. We're beating Harvard. We're beating Harvard for 10 years. #1 school business in the country. I'm the student professor there. So, Bill Childs owns R.C. Willis, sells it to Warren Buffett. He becomes a board of director man. He comes in. They come into Weber State School businesses. Hey, we'll give you, X amount of yellow shit, a lot of money. Literally 40, 50, 60 million. I'm like, we don't need that fucking money. Clyde Cooley will have none of it. The #1 finance professor in the country. He'll have none of it. Nope. Not going to happen. We're finance, we're ethics, we're fucking, We taught terrorists. We're protectionists. Number one school business in the country. Beating Wharton is our sister school. Why Elon Musk is going to Wharton at the same time. We would go back there. They would come back here. But we're always winning. Wharton 1, Wharton's 2, usually Princeton or Harvard 3rd and 4th. Every year, we're a public entity. Now, think about this. Warren Buffett knows this. So we're back at the shareholder meeting. We get to go to the yellow meeting. I have my stuff right there in 2000. And so I walked through because, you know, you have to have a yellow. You know, that's a lot of fucking money. But we get to go. Buffett's standing there with his fucking entourage. Looks like the offensive fucking line for the Nebraska Hornchuckers. You know, his personal. He's a dick. He's a phony, by the way. So we walked through and I says, Buffett, you know what I say about you having a bad year? What the fuck said me? He was snootier and fucked to me. And I says, well, even Babe Ruth had fucking slumps. And I walk off. I walk over, there's Kyle Madsen, who was the professor then, who later died of cancer, who used to teach at the University of Syracuse. So did his wife. And he's like, he's waving you back. He's waving you back. And I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Fuck, you don't impress me. I don't like the fucker. Well, we just go take pictures with him. We really don't want him. Come on. So I do. I go over there. And Buffett's people taking pictures with me. All Melzum, with love, signed to Weber State. Kevin Blash, blah, blah, hung on the wall at the Weber State, number one school business in the country. Now, in the meantime, Buffett is working to take us away. In the meantime, Utah State politicians are all in on supply chain. So there was a fucking big push in the United States, these states by houses, to go all in China. Remember, we're protectionists. We'll have none of it. Kai Cooley, right, we get an MBA program. We don't have an MBA program. We get the first MBA. I'm going to be the first MBA there. I'm on Wall Street. I'm running my plaster business. I'm doing a lot of things. I want that first MBA. Number one school business. I walk in and I'm like, where's Clyde? Haven't you heard? 2 weeks before the number one MBA program, now think about this, and he'd have none of Buffett and Gates. He would have none of them. He's blocking it. He gets the MBA program, the number one MBA. Kids from all over the world flocking in. It's the number one school in the country. I'm like, where's he at? A virus has attacked his brain. What? What the fuck you talking? Kyle Madsen steps in. Kyle Madsen's green as grass. He's so far in over his fucking head. He done. Kevin, you've got to help me. Help you. I don't have a fucking MBA. Well, you're his protege. You know. I don't have an MBA. That can't be disclosed. Well, if you help us teach these classes, you do this, and the other thing, we'll give you the first MBA, we'll give you this. They fucking betrayed me, and they lied to me. And meanwhile, the Utah legislator is chipping away. Now, all of a sudden, these two professors show up from southern China, Lee and another one. And I'm like, what the hell? And I used to joke to Lee all the time, what'd you put in Dr. Cooley's tea? You know, because they started to chip away. They wanted supply chain from China. Now, the very same politicians today are pivoting, and now they're anti-China. The same ones who created this fucking monster, who are now anti-China. The exact same politicians, including Bootlicker, Cox, all of them. They're in power now. They were just young fools then. Now they're older fools. I have a video of Bootlicker, Cox. Now, why would they bring J.D. Vance in 2017 to Weber State and promote him? And I have videos of it. Snuck them in. And I put them on YouTube. Bootlicking, freaking handing this, and what'd they put this CIA rat? That's not his real name, by the way. I mean, so Newscale is sitting there watching along in the grass as Bill Gates guts us and takes our school business, Warren Buffett, and rips it to shreds. So they start working the Utah State legislature. They're like, look at these dumb bootlickers. They'll hand over fucking life, liberty, fucking, that was easy. This fund is full of fucking money. Now, the exact same fund exists in New York. Status King Cuomo did the same thing. We'd go door to door. You wanted to sign for fucking wind and solar on your bill and no nuclear, no coal. Status King Cuomo stole that $7.6 billion, just ripped it off out of them. They did the same thing here. They come here, you got one guy fighting. So this evolves. We get to 2010, 20. Of course, Fukushima happens. Then I get leukemia, given 2 months to fucking live. I resigned. Well, I didn't resign. I just walked away from Weber State in 2005. Kyle Madsen got cancer out of nowhere, died. He said everybody's just dropping dead, and these Chinese professors are taking over. Now, you can look it up. The Chinese professor who took over there, she made headlines, international headlines. She told students, professors, everybody, and the Utah State Economic Development, she forbid them to go see the Dalai Lama. These are the people. Now, you can look it up. That picture of him right there, that's Lee himself, came out in 98. Under investigation by the FBI for selling state secrets to China. Warren Buffett wanted to develop a supply chain for his furniture factory. He's a scumbag. So back to NuScale. NuScale comes in, I'm on to him. They know I'm on to him. I catch him under the fucking stairs during session. Now, it's against the law to lobby and to promote during session. You can gift. So they would, which is a bribe. They would go, hey, you want to stay at our condo in Hawaii? You want to do that here. And these bootleggers, and I interviewed multiple of them. It's on YouTube about this. Why'd you? Because I can. They had no clue. So they go to every one of these municipalities in Utah, including Morgan, Utah, including Murray, Utah, including Logan, Utah, including all these different municipalities, and gave these guys a check for $200,000 to promote this lie. When they knew full well there wasn't. So immediately the money starts flowing, and they change the law. Now, Governor Herbert told me he wouldn't sign it to my face. Well, he lied to me. He signed it. And so what it did, it changed it to where now nuclear is renewable when nuclear is absolutely the opposite of renewable. And so they get it through, and they just steal the money. So it comes out of your bill. So they're testing. We're going to have 24 small modular reactors in Utah by the year 2019. Okay, I'm fighting. No, they're not. They're lying. I'm up at Idaho. My friend Blake from here bought the whole city, Atomic City, which is basically nothing. I'm up there constantly. I mean, protesting, finding out, blah, 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 blah. Now, remember they had an accident at Idaho Nuclear Lab on an SMR in the early 1960s. Killed people. They had to peel them off the wall. It's still radioactive. Now, when I was in the bone marrow transplant center, Johnny and Paul, their obituaries right here, were in there with me, born and raised at Arco. Both died of leukemia. And they were anti-nuclears. And so this money's just flowing out to NuScale. Now, the NuScale, and then I'll get back to this. The NuScale CEO, Rez, not the CFO, one of the other muckmucks, come out about a year and a half ago and says, why would you keep beating a dead horse? This is dead. We're done. We're out. So it's over. The stock, now, NuScale is not public yet. So they're getting this money from Utah. The only municipality in the world that's funding this. It's coming out of our bills. They ripped us off for $1 billion here. $1 billion. $1 billion. Now, I asked the Attorney General about it. Nobody does anything about it. We get 0.0, nothing. After 10 years of them ripping, 10, 11, 12 years coming right out of your bill, just robbed us. Stole from us. So the stock, they go public. They take the stock public several years ago. No product, no revenue, no nothing. It opens at $10. It hangs around $10 for fucking ever. It's a piece of shit. Everybody knows it's a lie. And, of course, the New York Stock Exchange, well, they'll promote anything. They'll let anything go public. And Rez rings the bell. The stock crashes. Meanwhile, they're dumping every fucking stock they got. The stock crashes down to $2 a share. This year, the bootlickers, there's a Democrat and a Republican, and they sponsor a bill written by Bill Gates' foundation, the Advanced Nuclear Energy Bill. Nuclear energy's over. It's just crashing. Everybody knows it. Fucking worldwide, well over 33% of all nuclear reactors have gone offline post 2011. We built one nuclear reactor in the United States in the last 40 years, and that was Vogel in Georgia, $37 billion, and it's still having issues. Meanwhile, we shut down St. Onofre, Duane Arnold, Indian Point, Oyster Creek, Palisades. We're going to restart them up, 3 Mile Island, all these just shutting down. Worldwide, Germany shuts down 20. Fucking, we're going to refire them up, and Japan, no, they're not. It's just a fucking fake fucking uranium renaissance lie. It's the greatest pump and dump in history. So they're all shutting down. They get this bill through this summer. While you're all caught up in social issues, whatever. The Advanced Nuclear Energy Bill. The Bill Gates Foundation wrote the bill. These senators write, and it goes, the Senate passes it 88-2. The only two people that voted against it, of course, Bernie Sanders voted against it, and Mark. 10 abstain. Congress passed, they don't even know what it is. I've talked to my congressman or whatever. How come you passed that? He didn't even know what I was talking about. Yeah, he voted for it. Because this is the fucking morons that we have for politicians. In the bill, they advanced Price-Anderson for another 20 years. What's Price-Anderson? Price-Anderson is the act in the 1950s. It's called the Immunity Act, to advance nuclearism. What it says in that bill, anything nuclear, paid by for the government, any fucking company that gets pork, fuck, blah, 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 they can do whatever they want for the money, with the money. And they don't have to pay it back. They're immune. It falls on you, the tax. They all know this. Everybody knows this. Altman knows it. Everybody's in it. Rolls-Royce knows it. Fucking even Westinghouse right here, they're jumping in. Everybody's jumping in because they're getting part of it. And it's a huge bill, billions of dollars. Written by Bill fucking Kimmer, Wyoming. They got a bill. No, they're not. You broke, Raya. There are no SMRs. There's no such thing. So let's get back to NuScale. So NuScale, this fraudulent, they're camping. I prove it. I just outing them every other day on their fraud. I'm fighting on full cancer fucking against me. There, we were state. I out them. I video them. I'm showing to the state, to the feds. This is a fraud. This is fraud. Why are you not going after them? So they get the bill through this summer, and then all the digital nomads, the freaks, start playing the stock because of the pump and dump. The media goes crazy because inside this bill, there is huge amount of money for propaganda. And you know the media is all pay to play, including KSL, Deseret News. Fuck, they're all in on it. They're taking the money and they're writing these fucking things, these lie stories. They're creating a fucking false illusion of pump and dump. The stock goes from $2 to $30. I mean, it's a fair, there are no SMRs. Everybody's got their fingers in it and they know it because it's free money. So why this is being pumped, these insiders are like, whoa, talk about a fucking gift from the gods. We're rich. Sell, sell, sell. They know they got nothing. They know it was a scam. They know it's on. They're just sitting back and laughing all the way to the fucking bank. It's the greatest pump and dump. So Altman fires with the NRC. Now, everybody on the NRC knows me personally. They have to deal with me. I hold their feet to the fire. The only person ever asked the NRC to their face about Fukushima. Alison McFarland to her face. It's online. She runs from me. You know, I'm not letting him up. Gregory Jacko, that con man, that creep, I know exactly what he did in the Situation Room on Fukushima. He cowered down in the fucking corner. Pitiful. So they named the next onto the NRC. So what happened? Trump becomes president in 2016, the big upset. Who Trump claims he's anti-nuclear, nuclear warming, claims he claims a lot of shit. But Trump was already president for 4 years. So he names her, now get this, head of the NRC. She's only there for a little window. Guess where she used to work? You got it. Idaho National Lab with the CEO of NuScale. What? Well, that's reclusion immediately. That can't be. There's no way that's legal. And they promote, by one vote, 3-2, NuScale's license. Then she resigns. That was her whole agenda. They have no SMR. Absolutely not. So Altman's SMR, they apply for it. All these other SMRs, the NRC shoots them down. Says, no, send us something when you roll it. So NuScale's throwing their hands up. They've already given up. They're like, we don't have it. Fuck, we never did. Blah, 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 blah. They're just riding off into the sunset. Yet people are fucking pounding the fucking stock. I mean, it's GameStop. On Balco, on chemo. It's a fucking fraud from hell. It's a fucking ripoff. And I exposed every bit of what good, I mean, with no money, full of fucking cancer. You think about this fucking body of my work. Talk about historic. Unbelievable. This is the greatest pump and dump fucking, because look, the tulip bubble, you know, now remember, I taught finance at the #1 school of business in the country. #1. I taught the derivative arb class. Of course, I was a street professor there. The Weaver State School of fucking Business in the 90s. Fucking, I was the guy there. Clyde Cooley drops dead. Now think about this. You go from #1, they're dead last now. And an investigation by the FBI for fucking stuff. I remember Jeff, the new CEO, I was flying to fucking California to, I believe, Monterey. And I went to LA, and then I took the little plane there, which I always do. I was doing type work, and I look over, and there's Jeff, the new dean. And I'm like, he's with this young Chinese young man, and I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm flying to China. Corrupt as fuck. really corrupt. They just, I mean, it's unbelievable the corruption that gone on in Utah. I mean, it blows my fucking mind how we got ripped off $1 billion. I'm a ratepayer. I'm 7th generation Utah, by the way. I come from infamous fucking lines. And then Governor Cox has got the nerve to say, you environmentalists, I can take you seriously. We need $20 more million. Who's going to get the $20 million? A couple attorneys? Bill Gates? I can't take you fucking serious, fucking bootlicker fucking Governor Cox. There are no SMRs. And I can give you 37 billion reasons why we're not going to build a full reactor. Now, by the way, Blue Castle on the Green, remember my rants? Blue Castle on the Green, why not put up a statue of Ted Bundy on I-15? I'm the guy that daggered that. Remember they had Lead Dog Financial was their fucking original dime, and I'm the guy that outed Lead Dog, me and Judy from the Deseret News. That was a Ponzi scheme, fraud. We daggered Blue Castle. You know, those bootlicker politicians were all going for it. I mean, now, so I'm full of cancer. I've got AML leukemia. Bad timing when Blue Castle and these guys are promoting. They got advertisements on Castle. I'm in the bone marrow transplant center with a central line hanging out of me. My doctor, Fimbo, who HIPAA laws prevent them from fucking being outspoken, whatever, who's from Copenhagen, Denmark, who saved my life. He put a lot. I remember, I told my oncologist yesterday, I remember Fimbo telling me, we are not losing you. You're the best anti-nuclear activist ever. We can't lose you. He put so much weight into me. I have AML de novo. I was dying. That's an unsurvivable disease. The fact that I go in on 11/11 on my place and time. So, Mary comes into my room one day. He's got the Deseret News. So I sit down, look at that. You know, on the Blue Castle New Skill scam. And I says, I'm sucked up to nothing. I weigh 119 pounds. Got no pigment in my eyes, blisters on my tongue. You know, I'm thick as fuck. I got a central line hanging out. I'm on quarantine. Right across Memory Grove. He says, no, Kevin. I mean, they're meeting over there today. Yeah, I would be there. He says, I'll write you a hall pass. You can go. If you just go there, wear your mask. I go there with my gown in my fucking tree, my ass hanging out. Through Memory Grove. Remember when I used to do all that praying down in the bottom of Memory Grove, all those great videos I did right there at LDS East 8, my home? I mean, when your social media addresses come up, LDS East State Bone Marrow Transplant Center, I lived there for 5 fucking years, off and on, mostly on, almost died in there. Look up Marshall Jensen. He was in the room next to me. Probably the most famous leukemia day. What a gem. What a brilliant young person. You know, Carla, all those people that passed away in there. So I go over there and I fucking just go off on him. With my central line. He was so powerful, so incredible. You know, I daggered Blue Castle. I had New Skill fucking daggered. I remember Hill of Utah, which was started, I was one of the original people of Hill of Utah. We were anti-nuclears, got hijacked. I mean, the attacks were so vicious that he fucking finally resigned and became a school teacher. And the guy that took it over is a panty painter. They're not, I mean, that's how they do. They ripped us apart. They slandered me, attacked me while I'm in critical condition. All over the internet, nobody protect me. Mike Lee kicks me off Medicaid in 2015 while I'm in the bone marrow in critical condition. After I fork over $1 million. Now you think about that. You don't think that's attempted murder? I mean, I don't know how it didn't kill me. They refused to do my gallbladder surgery because I got kicked off in 2015. And it ruptured. The chemo took out my gallbladder. Chemo took out my teeth. Chemo took out my fucking heart valve. Go see your dentist. I mean, I got no say. I see Michael Hawkins out of Regional Center. I'm just bleeding out my face. He knows it's my heart. It's my heart. No, we ran the test. Go see your dentist. I collapsed in my yard. I don't know how I didn't die. Emergency open heart surgery, which they half-assed did it. I'm telling you, it's shooting down my arms. I was talking to them about a lot of these criminals that fucking wouldn't protect me. It's my heart valve. I come from a family of heart doctors. I mean, I know it's my heart valve. It's shooting down my arm. No, it's neuropathy from the can. Oh, it ruptured. Almost killed me. 2 massive heart attacks. I had open heart surgery again. Fucking, it'll be 2 years in January. I don't know how much. Had to harvest an artery out of my leg. I have a pacemaker. All because Mike Lee kicked me out Medicaid. Why would he do such a fucking thing? Remember, Huntsman fucking went after him. He says, he sends back our own money. I mean, he tells me to my face, Mike Lee, Kevin, my dad just found out you're down with her. Now, I prepped his aide before that. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. But I knew her, and I told her I'm going to be first question up, the Olene Walker Foundation, blah, blah, who grew up right here by me. And I'll be the first one. Her mother was my second grade school teacher. Her auntie was my first. connected with those people. And so I prepped him. Well, you know, my father's down winter, Kevin. I said, what about Fukushima? Well, I'm friends with Senator Wyden. I said, yeah, Senator Wyden went to Fukushima several times, reported the deal, much worse than we thought. Of course, he won't even talk now. I'll get back to you this week. Now, that's when the next few days, he was holding up his buddy Teddy Cruz and went on his fucking filibuster on the fucking floor. And that was, what, how many years ago? 11 years ago? Still hasn't got back to me. I've asked every one of my politicians about Fukushima, this scam. This is the greatest pump and dump, and I outed the fraud. Tulip bubble? There were tulips. .com bubble? There were .coms. This is the greatest fucking bubble. The nuclear energy renaissance bubble. Every day you look at the media, oh, here's the new one. Japan's going to refire up there. No, they're not. No, they're not. Germany's fucking Schultz is out. The new guy. No, they're not. They ain't very much. So let's do the math. This propaganda. Uranium stocks going up. Demand's up. How's demand up? I want to ask you, how's uranium demand up since 2011? You know how many nuclear energy reactors have been put online in the world since 2011? In the world. Remember, China's going to put on a Mach 1, Mach 2, generational 5 fast breeders that fuck Westinghouse. By the way, Westinghouse went fucking bankrupt, and then they're still out there doing it again. This new bill gave them all the pork and the money. You know how many they put on in China? One. And it went into a nuclear meltdown situation. We know factually it went into a nuclear meltdown because under international law, which I was part of, back when we got that through in Vienna all those years ago, all my work I did at the IAEA, by law, if you have a nuclear disaster or radiation, you know factually it is, you have to send out what we call the downwinder letter. They sent it to the United States. Jennifer Graham Holm, who's head of, remember Rick Perry, Jennifer Graham Holm, they're going to make it sexy again, nuclear. You know, you got a porn addiction, you think about those two together. Fuck, porn addiction gone. Jennifer Graham Holm, doesn't she remind me of the twins' mother in East of Eden? I mean, that's exactly who she reminds me of, to a T. You know, the way Steinbeck describes her. George ain't going to let me tend those rabbits. So they send the letter. She sits on it, which is against the law. No, someone leaked it to CNN at 12:35 in the morning. I wonder who did that. And it got out there. They put on one. It went into a meltdown situation near Taiwan. China's pivoted away from nuclear energy a long time. So inside this bill, the person that wrote this bill this summer says, well, we're falling behind against it. No, we're not. This is how disconnected they are and how Gates and these people lie to these people. They cannibalize it, these imperialists and their puppets. China's pivoting away. China's gone fucking all in solar. Big time. They've pivoted away. And they're so pissed off at Westinghouse. I can't believe any Westinghouse executives in China, you got a lot of guts, is all I got to say. They hate you. They ripped you off so much fucking, and they know it. It's kind of like remember in Italy when all the Westinghouse, all the nuclear cartels showed up in Italy in 2012 and says, we're going to restart up the 5 nuclear reactors in Italy. And the mob kneecapped them and says, get the fuck out. We'll give you 20. Oh, they got the fuck out. The world hates the nuclear energy crime syndicate, except here in the United States of usury. So how many nuclear reactors have gone on? Well, Vogel. I told Bootlicker Cox to his face, I got 37 billion reasons we'll never build a nuclear energy reactor in Utah. That's what Vogel cut. 37 billion. You think we're going to fork it? It ain't going to happen. You environmentalists, this is Governor Cox recently. I can't take you serious to think, wait a second, solar. If we allowed net metering to sell back into the grid, we already have a grid. California's proven it. California producing 200% more solar a day than they can use. Yeah, we're going to keep Diablo Canyon open. Now, Kevin Blanchard, friend, we kicked over that domino San Onofre. What a great accomplishment. Without Kevin Blanchard, San Onofre never goes down. It's one of the greatest guys. And they're done. We're going to blow the towers here. I'll be there when they watch those things go down. I mean, it's one of the great. So let's start talking about how many reactors have been built. A couple. Maybe 2 worldwide. 620. How many gone off? Now, remember, Angela Merkel was a nuclear physicist. Remember Oppenheimer, the scumbag mass murderer, says the best nuclear physicists in the world are Germans. 20 nuclear reactors in Germany, they took them all offline. They're done. They're done. They're not going to restart them back up. One word, Fukushima. Okay, there's 20. Japan. Now, who builds 54 nuclear reactors on the fucking Ring of Fire in Japan? The United States took Japan, Yalta by the Sea, and these imperialist freaks that got control of the fucking country. Why would you do such a fucking thing? You know they're going to melt down eventually. It's kind of like Diablo Canyon. TikTok, it's only a matter of time. Now, Lawrence Livermore, who's named after Lawrence, his grandson shows up to the hearings with me. Now, I'm always the keynote speaker, number one on the San Onofre hearings. I'm always the first one. You think that's just by coincidence? No, everybody knows my credibility. Everybody knows my path. There's a reason I'm first up. They all know. He's always up there right after me. You should hear him go off on his own grandfather. He just rips him. He says, this is a big loot job, rip off, blah, blah, blah. Why would they keep Diablo Canyon in on the Ring of Fire open when it's costing $4.4 million a day? Taxpayer subsidies in California alone. Federal subsidies, several more million a day. Something they don't even use. They're using 200% more solar a day than they can fucking use. Why would they? Because these imperialist fucking scumbags who are sucking all this money out of the fucking government pork and this power mechanism, which came first, the nuclear chicken of the day. You have to have nuclear energy to make a nuclear bomb. I mean, this is a power mechanism. These are psycho fucking freaks. This is free fucking money to guys like Bill Gates, to Sam Altman, to New Scale from Hell. It's a scam. This is the greatest pump and dump in fucking history. There were tulips. There were .coms. Now, Jeff Bezos is in on this. Oh, yeah, he's got in on it now. Wasn't he born at Los Alamos? Wasn't his grandfather the original atomic? Yeah, where'd he get all that money? Fucking everybody's in on it because it's free money. They ain't building shit. They're not even testing shit. Here's free money to advance this fucking nuclearism. So the number of nuclear reactors that have gone off, now we've had 2 worldwide gone. Belgium's taken fucking, 3 or 4 off. Taiwan's taken them all off. South Korea's taken them off. Fucking Japan took off 54. Mother Nature did that one. Fucking Germany took off fucking 20. Fuck, they're all going down. China's even fucking taking them off. How about here in the United States? We built 1, right? 1. Vogel, $37 billion. What a scam. 1. Sending out for 2 reactors, sending out. They're dead. By the way, they'd never plan on fucking. I had the goods on them. You go ask fucking anybody who's anybody down there inside the fucking government apparatus. They were afraid of Kevin Blanche because they knew I had that, and they were afraid of going to jail. And scamming them, Micah Gary gets $5 million for the whistleblower thing when I'm the whistleblower. Out of my fucking bone marrow transplant center with the center line hanging out of the fucking window at LDSE State. Without Kevin Blanche's fucking cancer, fucking San Onofre never shuts down, which has been my crowning jewel, which I've been working on that my whole life. TikTok, it's on a fucking earthquake zone. The dry cast out of the containers into the pad, and I'm the lead speaker on the NRC. I'm moving up out of the pad to fucking the pad in Texas. I wrote the fucking priority list. I'm the guy that wrote it. I didn't get any money for it. You didn't pay for it. San Onofre won. So San Onofre goes down, 2 of them. Dwayne Arnold goes down. This is all post 2011. Oyster Creek, one of the most dangerous. There's 2 there. Indian Point goes down. Fucking Palisades, 2 there. Goes fucking down. I mean, all the other 3 in fucking New York would have been down. Gianni, fucking, what a scam. Saddest King Como, 7.6 bellies them out. 9 Mile Point, Gianni, Fitzpatrick. Fucking same with the fucking ones. Perry's got a fucking spill, a nuclear spill being reported. That didn't get reported now. That happened in October. Now they're telling us now. They would have all been down. I'm part of the group. Remember the corruption and the fraud in Ohio? I was coaching all those people. Remember they were fucking threatening us to go after, and the FBI office in Ohio went after them. The lead legislator, the head of the Ohio, the House Speaker, Larry Householder, was doing 25 years in a federal fucking, in a prison. The other guy that got caught blew his head off. So did, 2 of them killed themselves. The Ohio Public fucking Commissions guy killed himself. He did before he went to prison. The FBI went after him. But here's the thing. The FBI went after the bribees, like here in Utah. What about the people that bribed him? The nuclear energy, the untouchables. Yet we advance more? They don't even fucking exist. This is so dirty and so corrupt. I was inside every one of these houses protests. Idaho, Utah, California, fucking whatever. Yet the powers there be, something we don't even fucking use. So how many nuclear